Hi, this is Galaxie, and I'm Joe. Watch Marvel make us a hero. My name is Joe Worley. I was a Navy corpsman with 2-1 Marines out of Camp Pendleton, and now I work for America's Vet Dogs in development, raising money so that more veterans like myself can have amazing service dogs like Galaxie here. When I got hurt, I had a true 100% identity crisis. I was no longer the caregiver. I was no longer the big, strong Navy corpsman that was there for, these Marines in their time of need. I think that's why it's so important to have help. Galaxie here has been a game changer for me. This is something that I can never repay America's Vet Dogs for. Galaxie is trained for walking and mobility, he's trained for retrieval, and he's trained for bracing, which allows me to get in and out of the floor if I need help, if I fall down. I feel a sense of responsibility for him in the same way that I do for America's Vet Dogs. He's done so much in my life that I want to make sure that I'm doing right by him. Galaxie is my hero. I grew up reading comics, and when I first started working, I started making money and I was able to start buying comics, and it just so happened to tie in with the end of New Mutants right into X-Force 1. I got issue 1, X-Force, and that was my jam. Fell in love with Shatterstar, sort of an odd favored character for some, but I guess being a redhead who was always obsessed with swords, maybe it wasn't so much of a stretch after all. I think just the idea that they knew that they could get things done in a way that, the Avengers or X-Men couldn't do. They were under scrutiny. X-Force was like, hey, nobody's paying attention to us. We can get stuff done. Let's do things. My powers when I was a kid definitely would have been sort of resiliency. And it's even more impressive when you have someone that is intrinsically human without those mutant powers, like Daredevil, or the Punisher, that not necessarily thrive, but become more dangerous the more hurt they are. And I think that was something that I always looked at and was impressed by. And then also to be able to sort of know people's, intentions, to be able to read people a little bit. I think being good at that saves you a lot of time. I've always liked gray, deeper gray colors, and everything else just being sort of an accent. I like the concept of a bladed spear or sword. Swords because, Shatterstar, I grew up loving swords. I grew up with high fantasy, reading, Wheel of Time and comics and things like that. I like the fighting style that comes along with that type of weapon. Prosthetic could be a weapon. It's also a mechanism for mobility, and I guess in a world where, you have people like Tony Stark out there, that leg could be anything. Really the brightest thing is Galaxie. His fur sort of turning iridescent almost, and it becoming almost like an armor for him. I want my and Galaxie superhero to be somebody who shows up when things get really rough, to give somebody a breathing room, to take a hit, to be there to fight back the horrible things of the world. Okay, that's awesome. The coloring is perfect. I love the gray, I love the white and red elements in it. The blade is awesome. Galaxie looks like he can take a hit. Look how big and strong and muscular you are, buddy. Yeah, see the armor, it looks like it has like the Kevlar on the sides and things like that. It's plate in the middle. Looks like he could move in it. I love the blade. And the prosthetic is perfect. I bet he could like launch off of it or something like that and just tear into somebody. It's quite a pair. I wouldn't want to tangle with those guys. Thanks, Marvel, for making me and Galaxie a hero.